Hey there, everybody. Pastor Jason and Pastor Lindsay here, and we are very excited to announce to you that we are back to church in person coming this Saturday night on Saturday evening, October the 3rd, starting at 7 p.m. It's been a long 7 months since we've been in person. We're very excited to get back to person. We understand that there's going to be some differences and some changes considering for when we were last in person on March 8th, but we're very excited about this coming Saturday night. And we just want to take a few moments and highlight for you some of the changes, some of the ways things are going to look a little different outside of the fact that we're going to be at a brand new location at Toronto District Christian High School and a brand new time, at least for the first couple weeks until we're back on Sunday, October the 18th. We want to take some few moments and highlight for you some changes, some of the protocols that we want to have in place to help ease your mind and help you be a little bit more comfortable with joining with us back in person for the very first time. You ready, Pastor Lindsay?
I'm ready.
Here we go. We just want to highlight some of these things for you.
Okay, so the first thing that you need to know is that we are going to open the doors 20 minutes before service. So for the next two Saturday nights, service is at 7 o'clock. We're going to open the doors at 6:40. Opening the doors at that time is going to give us time to prepare for you to come, to have everything clean and ready for you to go. And then when you arrive, you're going to learn a bit later about the process that will walk you through to get you into the auditorium. But 6:40, the doors will open and we'll take you through at that time. You can start coming between 6:40 and 7 anytime in there. Also, as I mentioned, all of the regular COVID safety protocols are in place. As soon as you get in the doors, you'll be using hand sanitizer. We're going to have physical distancing in place. Of course, we're asking everyone to wear masks, and we have lots of different things around the building that will help you feel safe and will help us with this process. As you enter, there will be a little bit of a registration process and some COVID screening questions. All of the regular COVID safety measures will be in place for you as you arrive and throughout your stay with us during the service.
So as you arrive, we're going to walk you through a bit of a check-in process, and our hosting team has been working very diligently. Big shout out to those that have been working really hard on that over the last month or so. And so what you're going to find when you arrive is just like you go to a restaurant. If you have been going to a restaurant right now with your group, we're going to need to record your party's chief contact name. We don't need the name of every person in your party, the number of people that are part of your party, the main contact cell number, and email. Of course, none of these things are going to be used for advertising purposes. You're not going to be added to our email list. None of those things are going to be happening. You're not going to get solicited in any other way. There's simply going to be something that goes in our record books that we are required to keep for a month so that if something does happen, we are prepared to contact those people who were directly involved and not just send out a wide broadcast. So those are the things you can expect when you get to check-in. There's going to be a few other things that are part of that. Pastor Lynn's going to share those.
Yeah, so one of the things we're doing just to help everybody understand each other's comfort level is that when you arrive, you will have the opportunity to wear a name tag sticker. Now, you don't have to put your name on it, but we encourage you to do that. It just helps us get to know each other. However, you can choose between 3 different colors. You can choose red, yellow, or green, and kind of like a stoplight scenario. If you choose red, that will communicate to everyone that you're feeling concerned when you're there, and so you'd like people to just really keep their distance from you and just keep in mind that you're concerned about some things and you would like people to know that. The other stickers will be yellow and green. If you're yellow, you're cautious, just like a yellow light. Maybe you're just feeling, you can approach me, I can approach you, but let's take it easy, let's be a little cautious. And then green, well, green just means you're pretty comfortable, and so that means that you're okay to talk to people right away and they can come talk to you. And we just want to give you an opportunity to share with the people around you your comfort level. So red, yellow, and green stickers will be offered to everyone at registration when you arrive.
And they're simply meant to help it so that you don't have to communicate it necessarily to everybody right off the hop and say, before you come close, this is my comfort level. So we're excited about what that means for us. And one of the things we want to highlight on top of that is that our environment at our in-person gatherings are meant to be physically respectful. We are not going to say that there is no physical contact, but these are the stipulations we're going to ask. We're okay with a fist bump. We're okay with an elbow tap. And we're okay with a toe touch. That's really okay. One more time. We're with a toe touch. You don't have to get that high. You won't be on camera. But we're okay with those things. We are going to ask that you respect everybody's physical space, of course, with the physical distancing. Those 3 things that we just gave you examples of. will be acceptable. We are going to ask, although it's incredibly painful, that we don't have hugging going on unless you're hugging someone who's already in your social bubble and is already part of your family and someone that you already have contact with in that regard. But outside of that, we're going to ask that while indoors, not on the premises, if you want to do something outside, that's different, but inside the building, we're going to ask that there be no contact outside of the 3 ways that we just expressed for you. And that will just help everybody go along with the stickers, along with if they decide to put their name in the middle of that sticker, it will help everybody feel a little bit more comfortable without having to communicate it with words and worry about the awkwardness of that. We're just trying to mediate and get ahead of the ball in that regard.
Yeah, and so our auditorium is going to be arranged into different groupings. Chairs will be into different sections, and you'll see and have the opportunity for chairs to be in groups of 2, 4, or 6. So when you walk through the building, an usher will help bring you to a section, and you can choose from there where you're going to sit. Of course, if you're a group of 1 or you're one person coming on your own, you'll sit in a set of chairs for 2 people, and like that. That's how we're going to do it. Okay, so at the end of service, rather than ushering each person out individually, we're going to give people an opportunity. If you're feeling concerned, maybe you have a red sticker on, or you've been cautious and you just rather kind of get out of the building before everybody's getting out at the same time, we're going to give you an opportunity right at the end of service to head out safely and slowly and to make your way to the parking lot or to the lobby if you'd like. We're going to give you that opportunity when service ends and just give that time for people. And then once all of that has happened, we'll release everybody who's left to go at their own pace. So we just want to do that to give you, if you're feeling concerned or cautious, to give you the opportunity to exit the building in a way that you feel comfortable with.
We've had a number of people ask us, well, Pastor Jason, how many people can attend? What is the room going to look like? And so we can't show you exactly what the room's going to look like until you get there and you see it on our broadcast. But we are allowed, the protocols for a house of worship are a little different than what you find in any other public space in our city at the moment. And the protocols for a house of worship are 30% of the room capacity that you're going to be in. The official room capacity that the room we are going to be meeting in is rated for is 500 people, which means 30% of 500 is 150 people. So that's the maximum we are going to have be allowed in the room that we are in, holding church at TDCH. Now, with that said, over the next couple Saturday nights, we are not anticipating having any issue with staying underneath the threshold of 150. The feedback we were getting from you is that many of you are excited to come and many of you are cautious, many of you are concerned, you're not sure you're going to wait a couple weeks or wait a little while or even months, and that's completely okay with us. So we are not worried about maxing out the 150 at the moment. Once we get to Sunday services in a few weeks, some of those things are going to change, and we'll have another posting regarding what registration will look like. But up as of now, for these next 2 Saturday nights, we will not be requiring any registration. You simply show up and you'll check in with the lead name of your party, the number of people in your party, main contact email, and cell phone number so that we can contact you in case anything happens. But right now our room is 30% of 500, which is 150, and we think with socially distant, that is exactly what we'll be able to contain in that room.
All right. Well, we want to let you know, kind of in line with what Pastor Jay said, there is no pressure for you to return in person. We know that everyone's comfort level is different, and you may not feel ready, or there may be reasons according to your health, someone else's health, your business, anything like that. We just want you to know while we're preparing, we're getting ready, and we are excited to be together, there's also no pressure for you to return. And of course, if you have any symptoms related to COVID, if you have traveled outside of the country, of any of those things that you're hearing anywhere else, any reason to be concerned whatsoever, we are asking you to stay home, to get well, and to do all the proper things so that when it is time for you to come and be with us in person, you'll be able to be confident that you're doing it safely. So we just hope that you understand those things as we move forward.
There are a few things that we want to remind you of as we head into being back in person. And one of them is that our children's ministry will not be having any in-person programming for at least initially the first few weeks, just because it's a new space for us. We've never done church there before in person at all. And so we need to learn some of the systems. We need to learn what it is to be existing in a new facility. So rather than add the complications of more rooms and more spaces, and of course childcare and children's ministry, we're going to forego that for at least the initial number of weeks until we get our feet under us and get it set. But we do have a special thing for all of our boys and girls.
Yeah, so for all of the kids, there's going to be activity packs available for you, contact free. You'll pick them up and take them home with you, and those are just some special treats and activities, things for the kids to do during our services. So we hope that's just a small way that we can help with the process, and we hope you take advantage of it. Our kids team and our ministry leaders have been putting lots of thought and work into these special activity packs for our kids.
A number of you have been asking, well, Pastor Jay, when we get back in person, will I still be able to watch online if I don't feel comfortable coming in person? The answer is, that's our goal. Of course, we're in a brand new location, so we are working very hard. Pastor Jackie is leading us in that regard, along with some other folks in our church. We're working really hard to make sure that we can broadcast live. Now, what I would say is this. We are going to do our best to broadcast live Saturday evening, but if you're not able to catch it live Saturday evening from 7 to 8:30, or if something happens and we get to Saturday evening and something happens, God forbid, and we are not able to broadcast it live, it is going to be fully recorded and rebroadcast initially, first of all, on Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. in our regular time slot that you would have been attending over the last number of months as you joined with us online. So our goal is to have it broadcast live Saturday evening. Of course, it's going to look completely different. We are working out all the kinks. We're trying to figure it all out. We're hoping to get the right camera angles, the right lighting. In a studio like this, we can control all of those things in a much larger room that we've never been in, that we only have 3 hours to set up. We get access to the school at 4 p.m. We go live at 7. So there's a lot of things that need to come together and need to come together well. But our goal is to broadcast live, and if you're not able to catch it or there's issues, we will be showing it Sunday morning at 10:30 for any of you that are interested. And of course, it'll stay live on our YouTube channel that you could watch it at any time, and Facebook.
Yeah, and some people have been asking, when we are in person, will the debit machine be there? And the answer is yes. You will have opportunity to give using the debit machine. We'll also have envelopes available for you if you'd like to place your giving in there, your tithes and your offering. We'll have a hand sanitizer all over the building, so don't worry about feeling safe and clean. But yes, the debit machine will be there, and there'll be opportunity for you to give.
What I want to shift to right now for the last just few minutes before we conclude our video, and we look forward to having you with us again in person so that we can be a church family, is to let you know that our motivation for getting back in person, outside of getting back in person and being together and being the community of Christ in person, and God wants us to celebrate together, wants us to be together. Scripture, it says that it's something you shouldn't forsake. It's something you should do. And so we are now able to. We've been working so hard throughout the summer to find a location. We're very grateful and thankful to Toronto District Christian High School. We're very excited about what that looks like for us. Of course, many of you know that the adoption of Willow Ridge Chapel has gone through, and we're working on the last minute details to welcome them into our Forever Church family on Sunday, October 18th. But until then, as we get back to in-person church for the first time in 7 months, there are so many different pieces of anxiety that we know many people have. And so what I want to share with you from my heart very briefly is that our goal for Saturday night and Sunday mornings moving forward is grace and unity, not fault. We know that in our world right now, there are so many different things that you can hear from people. Well, I do this, and this is the protocols I've put in place for my family, and I'm not okay with this, and I'm okay with this. The truth is, we've worked very, very diligently and really hard to make sure this atmosphere is going to be as safe as we can possibly make it. There are no percentages we can put on it. We can't say that it's going to be 100% safe. We're doing our very best. We're trying to do our best for our church family so that we can be in person. And so because of that, as Christ followers, our first posture should always be one of grace, that we extend grace to the other person. And I'm going to ask you, as your lead pastor, that instead of any of us coming with a judgmental chip on our shoulder that's saying, well, they should act more like me, whether they should be a little bit more restrictive or they should be a little bit more loose, I'm going to ask you to practice grace for each other and not look for fault and just say, I'm going to take care of myself. This is how I'm going to behave when I am in person. And whatever that is going to look like according to the protocols, we want everybody to start at that place. Whatever you want to add to that for you personally, that is up to you. But we're going to start everybody at an equal expectation so that we can start at the place of grace and at the place of unity. The truth is, without unity, you can't have community. Unity is what makes community matter. And if you have community and you don't have unity, eventually you won't have community. You have to have unity. And so we want to come together to do in-person church so that we can be together, worship together. I know that I've heard from so many of you. I know you say, Pastor, I really appreciate your messages, but what I'm really missing is in-person worship. Well, good news. That's coming on Saturday night. And if you're able to join with us, of course, there's no pressure for you to be there. We don't want to force you into it. We don't want to make you feel bad if you're not able to. We are still family, regardless of whether you're with us in person or you're with us online and in spirit. We are still family. We just want to make sure that in person, we start with the posture of grace and unity first, not finding fault, not coming to find fault. To be very honest, if you feel you are going to struggle with having not everyone live up to the par of where you feel it should be for your personal safety, to be very honest, with so much respect and love, it may not be the right time for you to come back to in-person worship, and that's okay. We do have so many people in our church, we can't possibly make sure that everyone feels fully comfortable at every moment, but we want you to know we're doing our very best, and we do want you to be in person. And if you're able to and you feel comfortable, we want you to be with us.
Yeah, and Pastor Jay is right. We've been working really hard to prepare for this day, and this is a starting point for all of us, really, coming together in person after everything that has happened. And our hosting teams have been working hard, our registration team, our setup team, our staff team, everybody has been looking at all of the protocols that are necessary. We've been looking at our space and how we can use it to help everybody feel comfortable as best we can, and to make sure that we're doing everything according to what needs to be done. And so we realize this is a starting point, and things will change as life changes. Things will grow as we grow. And so we just want you to know that we're putting our best foot forward, and we're looking forward to having everybody that wants to come and feels comfortable there together worshiping at the same time in the same place. And we're looking forward to it. And we feel good about how we're starting. We feel good about the things that are in place, and we hope you will too.
So we're very excited to welcome you back to church Saturday evening, October 3rd at 7 p.m. Doors open for anyone who's not helping us with setup at 6:40 p.m. We'd love for you to be there. Come ready to worship. All the other things are going to be in place, but we want you to know that you matter. And we miss you, and I can't wait to see your face, even if it's only this much of your face. From here up, hopefully I'll be able to tell if you're smiling. But the truth is, God sees our heart. And so we want to believe that your heart is for together and being together. And whether you can join us in person on Saturday evening, or whether it's going to take you a number of weeks or months, or whatever that looks like, we believe in you, and we're thankful for you. And we are a church. We're a church, and we're opening our arms to another church that we're adopting. Our family is growing, and God is doing great things. Please don't let COVID keep you from community. And I'm not just talking in-person community. Join us online if you're not able to be in person. Don't let COVID keep you from community. God's plan for us is to be together in community, in unity, because that's where His presence kind of comes out. It's what He says, my presence is called and commanded to be in that place when you're in unity, when you dwell together in unity. So we're excited to have you come join us on Saturday evening at Toronto District Christian High School, Saturday, October 3rd at 7 p.m. Make sure you're there if you feel comfortable. We can't wait to see you, and we're excited to see what God is doing. He has great things in store, and this is not going to keep the church down. The Bible said that not even the gates of hell would prevail against the church of Jesus Christ, and that's who we are. God is doing wonderful things, and there's great things in store for the future. We'll see you on Saturday night. God love you. We miss you so much. Looking forward to see you.
See you Saturday.
See ya.